In this video, we'll be talking about the PMP 450v 2x2 subscriber radio module. This product supports frequencies in the range of 5.15 to 7.125 GHz and is capable of providing 600 megabits per second aggregate throughput in a 40 plus 40 MHz channel. As part of this video, we will be covering the PMP 450v out-of-the-box components, the physical features of the radio, preparing for installation, and the installation of the 450v 2x2 subscriber module. First, we'll look at the radio assembly. On the rear of the housing, there are two ports. This is the main gigabit Ethernet port, which is used to provide power and communications to the unit. The aux audio jack outputs the alignment tone, which can be used to precisely aim the dish during installation. Please note that the port accepts a standard 3.5mm audio jack for direct connection of a pair of headphones. The aux audio jack also supports GPS synchronization output to a remote access point, along with power out for an optional UGPS or CN pulse module for GPS location reporting. A cable gland sized to this port is included in the box. The bottom of the housing is equipped with an SMA connector for the GPS antenna. On the side of the tube, there are a row of LEDs, which indicate power applied, session status, sync status, and link speed and activity. Let's begin by looking at the components that make up the PMP 450v subscriber module. A main radio tube assembly, a reflector dish, an L bracket, a pull mount bracket, and a pack of 4 M6 flange screws and 2 cable glands. Assembly requires the use of a 13 and 27mm wrench and a 5mm hex driver. A torque wrench is optional but recommended. First, attach the L bracket to the reflector dish. The L bracket features 2 tabs that fit into the keyway slots on the dish. Insert the tabs into the wider section of the slots and then rotate the dish counterclockwise until it locks into place. Insert 2 of the M6 flange screws into the L bracket holes to secure the dish. Tighten to 5 Nm with a 5mm hex driver. Next, we'll install the radio tube module into the dish and L bracket assembly. First, orient the radio vertically so that it sits on the front surface of the tube. Take the reflector dish with the rim facing downwards and carefully lower it over the radio tube. Press down firmly to seat it. The holes on the sides of the radio tube should align with the corresponding slots in the L bracket. Insert the remaining 2 M6 bolts into the threaded holes on the side of the radio tube. Tighten to 5 Nm with a 5mm hex driver. Next, loosen the nuts on the pull mount bracket bolts and back them off until the bracket will fit over the mast. Also loosen the bolts on the back side of the pull mount bracket. These bolts will be used to attach the L bracket to the pull bracket. Back them out until they will slide into the slots in the L bracket. Mate the pull mount bracket to the L bracket, inserting both bolts through the round openings of the slots on the L bracket. Rotate the pull bracket into place and then temporarily tighten the retaining bolts. The PMP 2x2 450v subscriber module is now ready for mounting. Here we'll demonstrate how to attach the unit to a vertical pole. Maneuver the radio dish assembly into the mast and move the pull mount clamp bar into place. Tighten the nuts, hold it in position, and torque to 10 Nm. Loosen the bolts attaching the L bracket to the pull mount bracket and adjust the tilt to the desired angle. Lock the radio assembly back into place and torque to 8 Nm. Alternatively, the pull bracket can be mounted to the mast before attaching the dish and the L bracket assembly. With the pull bracket securely clamped to the mast, maneuver the radio assembly into position by aligning the keyway holes in the L bracket with the bolt heads protruding from the pull bracket. The radio assembly will slide into place into the pull bracket, ready for the tilt adjustment and final tightening. Now we'll install the main RJ45 Ethernet cable using the gland provided. Disassemble the gland into its component parts: the gland body, the rubber seal, and the retainer nut. Pass the Ethernet cable through the retainer nut. followed by the gland body. Insert the Ethernet cable firmly into the main port of the subscriber module. The radio should power up. Screw the gland body into the subscriber module's main port receptacle. It can be tightened with a 27mm wrench to form a good seal. Slide the rubber seal over the cable and push it into the gland body ring. Be sure that the seal is orientated correctly with the side of the indentation facing outwards to engage the teeth of the gland body. Verify that it's fully seated before proceeding. Thread the retaining nut into the gland body, making sure that the Ethernet cable is fully pushed into the gland to avoid straining on the connector. Tighten the retaining nut until the rubber ring holds the cable firmly in place and forms a good, weather-tight seal. A cable gland, sized for the aux audio port, is included with the 450V subscriber module. This gland uses the same design as the one supplied in the main Ethernet port. When making the connection to the auxiliary port, install the gland using the same procedure. An optional GPS antenna kit is available for use for the PMP 450V 4x4 and 2x2 subscriber modules. The kit must be installed in order for the subscriber module to report its GPS location, such as when using the automatic frequency coordination feature in the 6 GHz band. The kit is supplied with the GPS antenna puck, a support bracket for either wall or pole mounting, and all hardware required for installation. In this video, we'll show you how to install the GPS antenna to a pole and connect it to the subscriber module. First, choose a mounting location for the puck. For optimal performance, the GPS puck should have a clear view of a large area of the sky as possible, free of any major obstructions. If a suitable location is not available within the length of the puck's pigtail cable, an approved coaxial extension cable with an SMA connector may be used to extend the reach. Mount the support bracket to the pole using the supplied zip tie. Thread the zip tie through the holes on the bracket to secure it to the pole. Insert the pigtail cable into the opening in the support bracket and feed it through until the puck clips into the bracket. You then can secure the cable to the mast by using a suitable zip tie. Remove the sealing cap from the GPS port on the radio module. Pull the plastic seal back from the SMA connector on the pigtail cable and thread it into the GPS port. Tighten the connector, preferably using an SMA torque wrench. Now slide the plastic seal back down over the connection to shield it from the elements. Your installation of the GPS antenna is now complete.